The Y94 Morning Playhouse and just pulled this DRQ moments ago out of the box and totally random questions. Why did you say no to the proposal? Because if you did say no, you probably had a reason.
I've only been proposed to once, and I said yes to that proposal.
You did, yeah. I saw that actually.
So
yeah.
I can't help out on this one.
At first-hand accounts, not because I asked you, but because Steven did it right there in that chair.
Yeah, you helped set it up.
I'm still surprised that you were so surprised.
What I knew it was happening. I just didn't know exactly when it was happening.
Like the fact that I had to Jimmy rig an extra microphone for him that had a little extra cord for, and there was things here that I think should have tipped you off, but
I feel like you had an excuse on what you were doing or something.
Oh yeah, just testing
We're
microphones.
testing microphones.
Just filming you for fun right now.
We would film the show though all the time, so that was normal.
Just inviting in a random person from the hallway.
That was where once I saw him walk in, obviously I knew something's happening.
Oh my God, it's
yeah.
happening. Well, why did you say no to a proposal? It does happen. We're seeing some already.
Yeah, someone said I was 22 when my boyfriend proposed. We had only been together for a year and a half, and I remember looking at the ring and thinking, oh no, I love him, but I am way too young and I'm not ready to get married. I told him I wasn't saying no to him. I was just saying no to getting married right then. He didn't understand that, and we ended up breaking up a few months later.
It's not so much a no to you as it is the entire concept of marriage whatsoever.
Well, maybe it's just too soon. You're so young. And at that point, do you even say no, or do you just say yes, but let's hold off on the wedding?
Let's hang on a couple years,
Yeah.
maybe. And pull the Amy K engagement where it's 6 years.
Listen, weddings are expensive.
When did you say no to the proposal?
Well, so he actually went to my dad and asked for his permission, and we never even consulted with each other or even talked about marriage.
No,
It's
sure.
like, why would you go and consult with him without even talking to me first? Like, what if I didn't want to get married? So because he chose to speak to him before me, I decided to decline.
So you guys hadn't talked about marriage at all?
No.
Oh,
ever.
wow.
So I didn't think that I needed to say yes to that proposal.
Okay, so maybe it was done in the wrong order a bit.
I don't understand how you would go to someone's parents and ask for permission, but never have the conversation with your significant other.
Maybe in the olden times, but I do think it is very peculiar that you guys, you two, had just not in casual conversation discussed the idea
Ever
of
talk
maybe.
about it?
Why did you say no to a proposal? Somebody asked you, no. What is the backstory? Why'd that happen?
Someone said I said no because he was talking about getting married but never acted like a partner. I was doing all the cooking, the cleaning, paying the bills, everything. Then he surprises me with a ring and expected me to be thrilled. And I remember thinking, you want me to marry you so I can do even more for you. The proposal really opened my eyes, and I ended up ending the relationship. And someone said I said no because he cheated on me. The crazy part is he proposed to me after I found out. He thought the ring would somehow fix everything. He got down on one knee, and I literally said, are you serious right now? I can't marry someone I don't trust. We were done shortly after that.
So, yeah, I mean, sure, did I cheat on you? Maybe, but how'd you like to make this thing a little more serious?
I get he thought maybe that would be the Band-Aid to fix it. Terrible idea.
Said no to a proposal.
Yeah. I mean, we had only been dating for 6 months. And I had my doubts about her at the time. But, I ignored them because we were really happy. But once she proposed, I just, started feeling trapped. I was just thinking about having to spend the rest of my life with her, and I realized she wasn't the one.
Okay, and you're just like, you know what? The idea of it getting that serious is really what smacked it in your face. You're like, oh yeah, I might not be that into this.
Scared you a little bit. Someone said he proposed with his grandma's ring, and I said no. And I know that sounds terrible, and the ring is not why I said no.
Got
you made
it.
it sound like it. I found out he was secretly messaging other women. He kept saying it's not physical, but the messages were definitely inappropriate, and he thought proposing would prove how serious he was about me. For me, it proved the exact opposite. I couldn't accept the ring knowing what I knew.
It did 100% seem like you're like, ooh, grandma's ring. Yep.
Yeah, why'd you throw that in there?
It's a hard pass. What was the reason? You're like, you know what? Got to say no to this. It's not happening. He said no to the proposal. 2, 3, 7.
Someone said I said no because I didn't want children, and he did. We had talked about it before, and I think he thought getting married would eventually change my mind. So when he proposed, I realized Marriage would eventually force us to confront this issue. I loved him enough to be honest. We ended up breaking up, and as painful as it was, I think we both found the lives we actually wanted.
It crosses your mind, maybe I want to get engaged, or, marriage proposal seems like a good idea. Perhaps you kind of feel out a little bit before you go asking. Because I think a lot of these people that have had to say no to someone, it's like they haven't had the proper conversation ahead of time.
Someone said I said no and then he broke up with me. I told him I loved him, but I wasn't ready to get married. And he said that was basically rejecting our entire relationship and walked out. I thought we could work through it, but he never wanted to talk to me again. I do think if you say no to a proposal, the relationship is over.
Probably. Yeah. Thinking so. Why'd you say no to the proposal?
My ex and I were taking a short break, and I thought it was because we were going to end things. So we meet up, and we're in the park, and I tell him I think, it was good that we took this time apart. I think we should end things. And he's like, no. Will you marry me? And so he drops down on one knee and proposes. And I'm like, first I'm thinking this is weird because we've been together for 5 years. And if you're thinking of proposing, wouldn't you have a ring? Like you would have a ring.
Yes.
And he didn't have a ring. And so I said, where's the ring? And he said, oh, I don't have a ring. And I was like, see, this is the epitome of why the answer is no. We've been together for 5 years, and you don't have a ring. No. What, you want me to go pick it out? I don't think so. That's not the kind of marriage that I want. So I said no. And then funny enough, I found out from my dad a year later after we had broken up, he asked my dad to marry me. And the second that he asked, thunder and lightning happened, and he ran inside. So I took it as a sign.
I mean, it feels like a sign. I thought that the sign was less that he ran from the thunder and lightning and more like, I would love to marry your daughter. And then all of a sudden, man, if somebody asks you that and then there's thunder and lightning, say no.
I mean, I think that's what the sign was.
Yeah.
There's the thunder and lightning. And then he was saying like no, and then goes back inside, like, get away from me.
When the heavens are like, don't do this. Ugh.
Someone said I turned down a proposal because he had just lost his job and wanted to get married immediately. And I wasn't judging him for losing his job, but it felt like he was proposing because he wanted some sort of stability. And I told him I loved him, but I don't want to make a huge life decision when everything is so uncertain right now.
That's absolutely what that seems like. Out of work. What would be a good next move? I could hop out of LinkedIn, or I could have her pay my bills.
Yeah.
That sounds like a pretty nice situation.
Someone said I was already planning on leaving, and then he proposed, and I just couldn't pretend anymore. I actually felt horrible because he spent all this time planning, and I knew he was so excited. But I thought about saying yes and getting married, and then admitting months later I never wanted it, and I figured a broken engagement was better than a broken marriage.